Hey everybody, this is Chris Fitzgerald here, and I decided to do my final project using Screencastify. So I've done this before to show different demonstrations to my staff, and I've done it even with students. So feel free to use this with your staff or for yourself on how to use Twitter to develop a professional learning network. I started using Twitter in 2009, I believe, and I think my first tweet was like taking my sixth grade students to math bee or something like that. So I've come a long ways in my journey. It doesn't happen overnight. So I guess the main purpose of this is how to sift through the garbage of Twitter. I know a lot of people think it's all about celebrities and whatnot, which it can be if you want it to be. But I'm going to show you how we use it for educational purposes. So here's my homepage. As you can see, I do a lot of retweeting. I love following TED Talks. I coach at Appleton North Volleyball, so I manage their Twitter account. And then and as you can see, the recent clown scares. So again, most of it is all professional. I do sneak in a few personal tweets here and there. You got to show people that you are human after all. But I just really try and keep it strictly professional because that way it's all consistent. One of the things that you can do is when you search Twitter, is you can search for hashtags. So let's say I'm searching for Lucy Calkins, which we do a lot of our literacy through her. And lately, I feel like that's been the toughest one to find good resources for. So just by searching Lucy Calkins, it will search for the hashtag Lucy Calkins and everything that goes beyond it. Um, for example, here with this small moment, let's say if I really like it, I could just hit like, which I will, and I can also retweet it, which maybe I could use it later. I could add a comment to it, but it's really not necessary. Um, and again, this is all about professional learning. So if people are putting stuff out there, they want to share it with you. So don't feel weird about liking it or retweeting it. This is a great way to develop that professional learning network because you have to take a risk somehow. It's just like if you're at a conference and you see somebody using a good idea, feel free to go up to them and ask them. So that's just one example of what I'll search. I know last year we started using CPM math. Um, so I could just search CPM math. And here are going to be the recent uh, posts for CPM math. I could even click on the hashtag CPM math. That's going to give me everything with CPM. I could follow the CPM director, so I could just click on this. They will have different updates. You can follow them. You can send direct messages to them. As you go down, you can see different things that they're updating you on. So a lot of good ideas can be shared from this. And also you can find different people that um, tend to have really good materials with CPM or whatever subject that you would be observing. Um, and that way they can be kind of your go-to people that you get resources for, just like we all have with people at school. So I'm going to go to my homepage, and if you go to your homepage, obviously there's going to be a little bit of everything. So I have NFL stuff, I have um, school things, I have volleyball, I have coaching, and a lot of people were wondering, well, how do you organize everything? Well, with that, you can organize it into lists. So here's just some of my lists, like people I know in Green Bay, educators, triathletes, a few friends. So I'm going to go to educators, and what I can do is I can put people on my list. Uh, it's really nice because that way it's kind of like if you have Facebook and you have all those friends, and you know maybe like a fourth of them, and you keep in touch with maybe five of them. This is just a way to organize all the people that you know, and I know this is going to be strictly professional. So I have just ed tech on there. A lot of motivational things people tweet as well. I like following different coaches because I feel like they post a lot of good things with that. Um, and again, there's a lot of uh, inspiration that you can maybe share with your staff and with your students as well. So that's one way to keep things organized is through a list. You can develop as many as you want. And another thing that I have been getting into is a tweet deck. Um, so over on the side here, I'll have my um, tweets. Here are my notifications of things that I've done. Messages. There was actually a school from Texas that got in contact with me about possibly doing some stuff with the GoPro and how I've used it in my class. So we did some messaging back and forth. And then I have different things that I follow. So here's Ed Tech. It's one column and it's everything on Ed Tech down here. Um, Here's a really nice infographic. That's one of the things that we learned about throughout the semester. I have Appleton North on here because I coach and I just want to see what people are saying about Appleton North. I have Ed Tech Chat. And let's say that you're focusing on elementary technology. When you search, okay, it will give you everything right here, and you can also add a column if you want to. Okay, so here's my elementary technology column. For example, here's 101 websites for elementary teachers that you might like. You can also delete and take away that. You can also program it like if you get a notification every time somebody tweets using that. Um, so that's just one of the ways to keep it organized. Again, I think Twitter is a great way to share your ideas with everybody. If I go back to mine, I try and show different things in my classroom that I try and uh, use with Twitter. Here's one of the photos I posted. Here's some of my students that are outside of Mapleview, and we were doing some pre observations with plants. Um, and kids are just making different uh, observations, and we generated questions from that. One thing that I would really make sure that you do is not put any really clear student faces on Twitter. Um, and I also make sure like no student names are on there as well. So, um, good luck with your Twitter journey and your professional learning journey. I feel like following good people off of Twitter uh, is just as beneficial as going to a conference. Here's something from Alice Keeler. She's like the Google Classroom expert. I follow her a lot. Another one would be Chad Kafka. He is a ed tech guru, actually from Wisconsin as well, down in the Milwaukee area. And you can see he has some stuff that's personal, and he also has some really good um, educational things too. So it looks like he's been doing a lot of running. But anyway, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to help out. If you want to see any more demos, I'd be happy to put on a screencastify. You can use this with your staff. You probably don't want to use all of it, but even if it's just a few things, I'd be go ahead and share it. That's what it's there for. So thank you for a good class, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. And again, if you have any questions, definitely send me a message or email me. Thank you.